probably thinking, wow, I really don't want to burden my family with my affairs after I'm gone, but I really also don't want the state involved. What do I do? What are my options? If you have any assets at all, even a bank account or a retirement account, someone will have to manage your affairs when you're gone. Now consider the additional complexity if you're a real estate owner or a business owner. Who are the candidates that are going to be available to manage your affairs, follow your intentions, and successfully carry out your wishes? In this video, I will discuss the 3 likely candidates for who is able to manage or can manage or should manage your legal affairs after your passing. The first is family members. The benefit of naming family to be in charge of your legal affairs is their personal familiarity to carry out your wishes and be able to accomplish what you want. The reason for this is because they know you really well, and that's really important. You just have to make sure that they're organized, they're competent, and they're trustworthy, and that they would be willing to delegate to other professionals to help them carry out your legal affairs. But sometimes family may not always get along, and some of my clients have the good intention of appointing, let's say, multiple adult children as co-executors of their estate or co-trustees over their trust. And I have to really make sure that that is the best plan for their family, because there could be unintended consequences when one or multiple siblings may not get along. It overcomplicates the planning process and requires that they always agree on everything. So we want to make sure that the right person is fit for that job. The second category for the likely candidate are trusted friends. Now we want to make sure they're long-term friends, ideally with a professional background that will enable them to do their job really well. Like an attorney, a CPA, a financial advisor. They don't have to be from those professional backgrounds, but it is helpful. The main thing, again, to remember is that they need to be organized, competent, and trustworthy, as well as willing to delegate to other professionals to help them do their job well. Sometimes the downside of appointing a friend depends on the size of your estate. Why is that? Because you may have a very large estate. You may have minor beneficiaries who need assets managed for them for a long period of time. A friend may help out in the short term. Maybe they'll come in after your passing for about a year or so and help manage your affairs, but I would bet that they're probably unlikely to want to manage assets for decades or more for minor children. So it really just depends on your family situation. Friends are not a bad candidate. It's just important to make sure, again, that they're the right one for the job. The third candidate to be in charge of your legal affairs is a professional fiduciary or a trust company, like a professional trustee. They're a great choice because they're efficient, they're insured, and they'll get the job done right. And so for many of my clients who have a large estate, I sometimes do recommend the use of a professional fiduciary or trustee. And in other cases, when the family situation is a little bit more complex and we don't have family or friends to lean on, it also makes sense to utilize a professional fiduciary or trustee. The one thing to remember here, though, is that they're not always going to be intimately familiar with the personal nuances of your family, and that's why it's important to discuss this option with an attorney who can advise about your particular situation. Sometimes fiduciaries can be too expensive for the size of your estate, and if they're managing assets for a very long time, it may not be worth it depending on the size of your estate. They typically take about a 1% fee of the size of the estate per year. Just make sure you're discussing this with a professional who can understand, again, the full picture of the planning. As we discussed, there are many candidates that may seem right for the job, but the reality is every family's situation is unique and you need to make an informed decision so someone like an attorney can come in and show you the full picture to be able to make that informed decision. You're not alone in thinking through this. I'm here to help. You can always email me at noelle@barthattorneys.com. Your values, wishes, and legacy matter, so let's make sure we choose the right person for the job. Thanks for watching.